All right. Feels the Bucs Rams game feels like 12 years ago.
Oh, 100%. So Tom Brady is now 58.
Yeah.
And still playing.
Still playing. Still handsome as ever.
Just won a Super Bowl. The Buccaneers fell to my Rams. I can't believe that the 4-dog parlay didn't hit. It was there. It was in the freaking house, man. Oy vey, 30-27. Rams beat the Bucs. This game was the opposite of the Bills and Chiefs game in that the Bills and Chiefs were just firing back and forth at one another essentially the entire game. What was the biggest lead was 23-14?
27-3.
No, in the
Oh yeah. In the Chiefs Bills game.
23-14, and you never felt like people are like, oh, Buffalo's toast. It's like, let's settle down here. Like the Bills can score quickly. However, 27-3, when Matthew Stafford sneaks up the middle on the Rams' first possession, with 7 minutes left. I don't know if it was the first possession or not. Six play, 28-yard, 3-minute drive, punches it in. There were several insane sequences in this game, but I mean, nothing as crazy as Tom Brady's deal with the devil, allowing him to come back and tie this game with 46 seconds left, which apparently, as we've learned today, is not nearly enough time or way too much time to leave on the clock for any NFL team. The Rams completely dominated this game the entire way. And then because a combination of bad luck, Sean McVay kind of turtling up and attempting to really just shrink the clock despite knowing that Tom Brady's on the other side. And basically, really just bad luck, dumb decisions. And
what's the bad luck?
I mean, just fumble luck and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there were some weird turnovers in this game, and the Bucs tied it up. Felt like it was going to overtime. On the first play, they run a sneak with Matthew Stafford for some reason. It was like, were you paying tribute to Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy? What's happening here? And then a quick pass to Cooper Kupp. He gets out of bounds, and Todd Bowles, for the first time all game, sends six-man rush all in on Matthew Stafford, who was, according to the stats, the number one quarterback against the blitz in the NFL in 2021. Stafford goes up top to Cooper Kupp on a dig route. I think it was. And
no, it's a little post.
Yeah, whatever it was. And Kupp catches it. They sprint up there. Stafford spikes it with like 2 or 3 seconds left. Matt Gay bangs home the field goal, and the Rams get out of town. It was it was like a boring game that was it was a lot like the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl, right?
It's slightly more exciting than that. The Rams Patriots Super Bowl. Is that what you meant? Or do you mean
no,
the
I mean
Falcons?
Falcons
They were
Patriots.
down
28-3
game.
Yeah, I thought you meant the Rams Patriots. That one was this one was way more exciting. I'll just have one question for Breech, and then Breech, you can expound. How did Matthew Gay come short on a 48-yarder in Tampa Bay?
No, so when that happened,
he hurt himself in the pregame.
I actually thought it went in, and then I saw the refs.
Like it.
I saw the refs do this number, and I literally rewound it, and I was like, "He missed that? How did he miss that?" And then, but you saw, it said short, and it was like he fell short. And you know what though? He did get injured in pregame, but his kickoffs were going far. He looked fine. I think he kicked field goal earlier.
I think he was just trying to finesse it and thought, this is not that long a kick. I'm just going to finesse this thing.
They wouldn't have sent him out there if they didn't think he could hit from 47.
Or they would have gone instead of
Right. So yeah, that was weird. You do not see NFL kickers fall short from inside 50 yards in perfect weather where it's 65 degrees. And
hold on, I have some breaking news in my headset. We're going to give away a second Paramount Plus gift card.
What?
Smashing that like button if you haven't hit it already. $100 Paramount Plus gift card. You basically get the best streaming service on the planet in the history of the world for free for a year plus. And you're eligible for it, all you have to do is hit that like button. It's a mystery number, Debo says, but we will give away a second Paramount Plus gift card. Smash that like button if you have not. Sorry, Breech, go ahead.
That was it. You don't ever see that, but you know what? He redeemed himself because he didn't fall short on the game-winning field goal from 30 yards out, because that would have been extremely embarrassing.
I think the takeaway for me is that you have to have a franchise quarterback, like to get this thing done. Tom Brady's obviously that, but the offensive line was banged up, and we've been talking about this for 20 years. If you get after Tom Brady up the middle, he's going to be uncomfortable because he's not mobile. And Tristan Wirfs was out. Josh Wells' replacement was literally hobbling on one leg at points during this game, and he was flustered. In the first half, he played terribly. He obviously played better in the second half. You have questions about the 55-yard touchdown to Mike Evans. You have questions about Cam Akers, and oh my God, what are you doing, my man? So they lost out on 10 points with the Cam Akers fumble and the Matt Gay, 48-yarder that came up short. At least Matt Gay had an excuse, but those are the type of things that will come back to haunt you in the worst possible way as you move through the tournament, as Hootie Johnson used to say. But hey, huge win, unbelievable comeback. And I don't think there's much you can take away from it other than if you clean up the mistakes, you have a good chance. Well, not a good chance. We know that they struggle with the 49ers, but you have a great chance to compete next week and go to the Super Bowl.
And compete in SoFi Stadium where the Super Bowl is going to be played. The Rams are the first team in NFL history to get to host the conference title game at home in a year where the Super Bowl is being played at their stadium.
Yes, and they would obviously be the only team in NFL history to host the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl if they were to advance to the 49ers. We'll, of course, break down both of those games very quickly. We're not very quickly. We'll break them down after we finish recapping these games. Man, look, I'm a Rams guy. I'm a Matthew Stafford guy.
Hall of Famer. He's 2 wins away from probably getting in, just for the record. And when Tom Brady was coming back, like now I know how Falcons fans feel. And I was in the building for that game and it was insane, but I was watching it as someone who's like, do you remember who you were sitting next to in the press box?
You, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked.
Best breakfast tacos ever in Houston. Anyway, I was like in that game, you're like, I mean, this is just crazy. Like this sucks for Falcons fans, but Tom Brady's amazing. And as somebody who would bet on the Rams, actively rooting for the Rams, wants Matthew Stafford to win a Super Bowl, for mostly for him, but a little bit for personal vindication. To watch him play as well as he played in that game, and then to have all the way that all of a sudden it's just tied up because of some crazy circumstances. I feel way worse for Falcons fans than I've ever felt in my life, because that was a very sweaty, very disgusting, very brutal way for the Rams to cough up a game that they, the stats won't show it because of the crazy comeback quite as much, but they absolutely dominated that game. Brady was under pressure every single snap. Aaron Donald, Von Miller were all over him. Jalen Ramsey did a really good job in coverage until he didn't against Mike Evans on a deep touchdown pass. And if the Rams lose that game, it's sort of, it would be a worse feeling than the way the Bills feel right now.
I don't know. It'd be close for sure. And the thing is, here's the thing. Like, I thought that the Bills had won the game with 13 seconds to go. I felt 60% confident they'd won it, maybe higher. 27-27, I'm like, okay. But Matthew Stafford and whoever called the game last week, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Troy Aikman. I don't think the Romo called the game. Whoever it was pointed out that once you win a playoff game, it takes a lot of pressure off of you. Matthew Stafford played much looser than he has probably at any point this season, it felt like. And I think that had a lot to do with it. I think the fact that the defense was playing so well early on had a lot to do with it. But again, you can't, and this wasn't Matthew Stafford's fault, but I mean, when Cooper Kupp has a fumble, that's a huge development because he never makes any mistakes. Then the Cam Akers fumbles and then just sort of the silly mistakes, they got bailed out a few times. The snap over to the right of Matthew Stafford when he wasn't looking on the play just before that, they'd gotten down there. I think it was a fumble or something. They had gotten the ball.
Well, there was Brady got the ball back and the score. So the Bucs got the ball back and the score was, oh crap, I'm forgetting. It was 27-3, right? Yeah.
It was 27-13. So Von strips Tom Brady. The Rams recovered at the 25-yard line with 14:33 to go in the fourth.
Well,
And then the very next play is a snap that went sideways past Stafford.
but you can kind of lump all of it together because it feels like the Rams imploded and allowed the Buccaneers to get back in the game. Because you mentioned the Matthew Stafford touchdown that put the Rams up 27-3. So after that, you're thinking this game is over. There is no way. Like Brady's being so dominated. The Rams defensive line has been so dominant, and Brady doesn't have any time to throw. He can't do anything. There's no way they can come back unless the Rams implode. And then on their next 6 possessions, they go fumble, 3 and out, fumble, missed field goal, 3 and out, fumble. You can't have 3 fumbles, 2 3 and outs, and a missed field goal on 6 straight possessions. You were inviting the Buccaneers to get back in the game. That's exactly what happened. And then the 55-yard touchdown pass. I mean, it was one little thing where, like the Cooper Kupp fumble, I think was the first one. You're like, it's 27-3. It's not a big deal. Then the snap goes by Matthew Stafford after the Rams had just gotten a turnover.
Breach. So you mentioned the Kupp fumble. The very next series that you talked about, the 3 and out you talked about, it took literally 9 seconds off the clock.
And that was the other thing. It was like, if they run 3 plays and run it all 3 times, they can run off 2 minutes. And they didn't do that. They ran 9 seconds off. What are you doing?
It was again, it's just, we go back to the Falcons Super Bowl and why I think it is easy for coaches to say, all right, look, we've played an incredible game. We've done everything we need to do to beat Tom Brady, to take down the defending Super Bowl champions for the second time this year. Now we're going to pound the ball, shorten the clock, get out of Dodge with this win. But I really felt like the Rams needed to be more aggressive there because this is how Tom Brady pulls this off against teams is they try to shorten the clock. You get a couple of stops, a couple of weird bounces, and all of a sudden Tom Brady's got the ball 30 yards away from tying it up in an absolutely improbable manner.